I've been doing a couple of events over the year. This is the first group that actually said my name close to 100% right. I'm loving it. I have been everything from Safiya to Safiya to one lady, I don't even know, she butchered it so bad. My family is in the audience yelling, "That's not her name, say it right." So you're like, oh God, that's my family, I know their voices. So thank you again. As they said, my name is Safiya Sanyika. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So as they said, my name is Safiya Sanyika. I like to reiterate my name because it is from the Swahili language. Safiya meaning pure and Sanyika meaning gatherer of the people. And my parents are true believers that you should name your children something that they can aspire to. And over the years, my mom said that I fulfilled the pure side. I'm a pure pain in her butt. And I take it with a smile. And with the gatherer of the people, I mean, that's just what I do. I love being around people. I love talking, coordinating any and all kinds of events that will allow us to be together, share ideas and examples. So I thank my parents for starting me off on this path just by making the decision to give me the name that they gave me. Why am I here today? Usually I show up in my crown and my sash. It's at my back table. I'm co-coordinating today, so bear with me as I run around, and you might see me in another outfit in 20 minutes. But I am the Miss Massachusetts for America Strong. I am the first African American to hold that title. So it is very... So that title is very near and dear for me for lots of reasons, but one, definitely being able to make history with a company that has been around since 1958 and started this new chapter of their organization called the Misses about 4 years ago. So to be the first out of their 4 title holders really, is something precious for me. I think that I did a really good job spending the year promoting the event as a whole, but my platform was multiple sclerosis, wanting people to understand what multiple sclerosis is and the fact that it is something you deal with daily. And that's why I call myself an MS warrior and not a survivor. To me, a survivor is someone who has gone through something, overcame it, and is now continuing to move forward. With multiple sclerosis, it's something you live with daily. There's no cure for multiple sclerosis. And those of you who may not be familiar, I'll give you the very, very basic. It is a disease that is constantly attacking my brain. I have to take medicine to hide the cells in my brain that the disease is attempting to attack. So every day is something new. I wake up some days with headaches to the point where I have to go back to bed. I can't look at the light. I can't do anything. I'm in constant pain from muscle spasm that runs in my lower back, up my spine, into my shoulders. Why am I telling you this? Because it is a struggle some days to even get out of bed. And as a woman, we a lot of times end up doing everything for everyone else, and we forget how to take care of ourselves. That's right. And getting sick, I think, really was the reality eye-opener for me. I was working over 60 hours a week. We have 3 handsome boys. We always are rescuing animals. Usually we have someone's child living with us, whether it's, for 3 months, 6 months. We've had some that have lived for 5 years. So we're always extending ourselves and always looking to take care of each other because we really believe in the idea that it does take a village to raise a child. And so if we don't start to kind of work together and do things together, it'll become a problem. So like I said, I had ended up getting sick in 2019 with multiple sclerosis was the diagnosis. They initially thought that I had a stroke because I lost mobility on my entire left side and I had developed such a severe speech that I didn't want to speak. I would literally text people in the same room with me what I wanted to say because it was so hard for me to get my thoughts out. After all of the testing that they did, they figured out that I've actually had multiple sclerosis since my early 20s, and that was actually my 6th relapse. Wow. So that was my first documented relapse, but my 6th relapse in reference to what the brain imaging showed. So again, I share that story because maybe had I paid a little more attention to my body, paid a little bit more attention to this doesn't feel a little right, I might have been able to seek support sooner. The other thing that I felt was a kind of a hindrance was, as a family, we don't always talk the way we should. And I actually have relatives who suffer from autoimmune deficiencies. So again, had we had that conversation and talked about it, maybe when, I was dropping things, I would have went and said, hey, this is something that runs in our family. What do you think? And they would have done the proper testing. Instead, I spent 3 hours getting electric shocks to my left arm for the guy to then say to me he wants to cut my arm open, slice down the tendon because it is pushing on the nerve. Well, thank goodness your girl was like, no! Because it wouldn't have solved the problem. Everything's coming from a neurological point of view. So he's not thinking about connecting it that way. His job is nerves, and so that's the only way he kind of came from. He didn't think about it from the brain side of it. So talking to each other, sharing with each other is key, because sometimes what you're experiencing, someone else is experiencing, and you may already have gone through some of the, hey, ask this question, ask that question. So we really need to make sure we're sharing and talking to each other. That's how we're going to continue to uplift. The other thing that happened with getting multiple sclerosis is really had me thinking about me. And the fact that I'm good to me, I make sure I get my nails done, I get my hair done. My mom is awesome. She'll help make sure I got at least one or two new outfits per, year. So I'm good to me in reference of that kind of physical self-care. But I recognized that I wasn't good to me in reference to a mental and an emotional sense of self-care. I was burning the end from both ends. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I was at every single teacher conference. I was at every single conference, concert that the kids had. I was on every Zoom meeting. I mean, you name it, I was there, and I was burnt, and I didn't realize I was burnt. And getting sick was my body's way of saying, we're done. I've given you these signs, and you've missed them all. So now I'm gonna knock you down on your butt, and it's gonna take you a little while to get back, but as you get back, you'll be better. As I said, I wasn't walking or talking. So to be here today in my heels, I couldn't drive. My mother had to take me to every single appointment. Thank you, Mom, because I truly appreciate being on time. She's someone that leaves an hour early for every appointment. I'm now on time, or I'm much better at it. I won't say I'm on time all the time, but I'm better at it. But like I said, I really recognized that I wasn't doing enough for me and what I wanted. So once I was able to get a handle on my symptoms. Again, my symptoms are something I deal with every single day, but I am at a place where I'm able to manage them a lot better. There are some days where it's just like, hey, go back to bed, start over in 2 hours, and let's see what happens. But like I said, I really realized that there were a lot of things on, I had called it a bucket list. And my father said, no, you're not dead. You're not about to die. We don't call it bucket lists. These are wish lists. These are things that you wanted to do, but for whatever reason, you didn't get them done. So pull that list back out. Let's see what we can actually work on so that you can start taking care of yourself on that kind of internal, emotional level. And so the two things that jumped at me when we had that conversation was I wanted to finish my degree. I had an Associate's Plus for 12 years. So I was working and I was happy with my Associate's Plus and I had a good job, but I didn't want to just stop there. But there was always some reason why I couldn't go back to school. I got to take care of the children. My oldest is about to go to college. I need to work this extra job for the money. So there was always some reason why I didn't finish my education. So that was the one thing I did, and I am now a proud holder of a bachelor's degree in early education. Sorry. then the second thing that I had really wanted to do is I had always wanted to be in a pageant. I respect pageants. I think that they, when ran properly, can really develop, lifelong skills and friendships. And so that was something I wanted to do. And so I competed in the Miss Massachusetts for America Strong as Miss Boston. And then I won. So that was just an amazing all by itself. Competing was what I wanted. I just wanted to say that I had that experience, that I had the opportunity to share the stage with other women who thought like me or had similar thought processes. So for me to be able to walk away as Miss Massachusetts and represent the state at nationals was surreal. I mean, I was like flying high. And my family was, right there, always supporting me. But it went back to me saying that was something that was for me. And it was okay that it was for me. And I think sometimes we feel a little bad about being selfish. Oh, that felt selfish. It's okay. It's okay to be a little selfish. It's okay to say no. Someone just posted not too long ago, November is the month to remember to say no.
No. Yeah, I saw that.
There you go, November. It's okay. We can't always be that person that solves your problem. We can't always be the person that you can run to. So when you're at that place and you know you just can't do it, it's okay. Because if not, you get to a place where you're burnt out and you're not recognizing your own signals. Your body is constantly telling you what it needs. But because our mind has got us racing around, we sometimes miss those things. So the point of my speech is about self-care, about stepping out of your box, stepping out of your comfort zone, thinking about the things that you wish you had done and get it done. No one should be living in a woulda, coulda, shoulda type of a lifestyle. I wish I went to Mexico. I coulda went to... No. You want to go to Mexico? Figure it out. Get there. Make it a plan. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-year plan. It's a plan. Put that deposit down. Now you've got a goal to work towards. If finishing your education is something that you want to do, it is never too late. I am 44 years old. I just got my bachelor's degree at the age of 43. So it is never, ever too late to accomplish the things that you feel will fulfill you as an individual. Because we're no good to our boyfriends, our husbands, our children, our aunts, our uncles, or our parents if we're not good to ourselves first. Thank you guys so much for